Hello and welcome to the Watchin It podcast. On today's show, Robert says 2 men left everything outside the ring. Donnell says there are shoes now. F your shoes. And on Silo, it's fun with physics.
Yeah, it is. Physics are fun.
Man, waiting for this episode, man.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this episode.
Yeah, damn you for making me wait an additional
day.
day.
I'm sorry. Medicare is complex stuff, okay? I'm sorry. It took longer than I thought it would.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
But waiting for this episode, watching this whole episode the whole time. I mean, you hit it like right at the end too. The whole time we're watching it, I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. We are going to watch this whole episode, and then they're going to drop a new character on us in the last 30 seconds, and then they're going to walk away.
If they dropped a new character, at least we got to see him talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's just get right into it.
Let's jump into it.
So Silo, season 2, episode 1. I did not look up the name of the episode. Name of the episode is The Engineer.
Yes.
It's what she does.
It's what she does, and this one thing. So this episode predominantly we'll get the beginning scene here, which has more people in it, and we also get some flashbacks. But predominantly, it's just now I can't remember her name.
Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson's character.
Yeah.
Going around and stuff. And I've always thought about, one is like, they always talk about
Juliette Nichols.
Yep. They always talk about in shows like how they don't film in order. So like if you're watching the first episode, that might have been filmed, halfway through the thing. But still, I've always wondered how these episodes feel, where it's like you realize like you're it for the episode. Like everything you do is being watched, and also like it's not going to be reliant on like how you deliver your lines, because like you probably aren't going to have, since it's just you, probably going to. So you're like, I know it's all part of acting, but I always just thought about like, just being like, hey, this episode, you really have got to telegraph everything so they can kind of get the feeling and stuff. It's always just an interesting thought of just being like, hey, this is
you got to watch that German movie I talked about where she's stuck in the bubble. Die Wand, the wall.
I remember that.
Where it's all her.
Yeah.
Except for like a very short, like couple of minutes at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. It's like she carries the whole thing and she does not talk the whole time. It's all narrated.
Yeah.
Over. It's so good.
Okay.
I want to go back and watch it, but it's a lot. It's a lot of movie. I mean, at first it's in German, so you gotta, or some other language. So that way you gotta. Yeah, it is in German.
Subtitled.
Yeah, but it's it's so good. It's really good.
I do need to check that out.
So there is kind of like 2-3 parts to this.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's a thing at the beginning that's like a flashback, and then there's her going through this new silo.
Yep.
And then there's going into her past.
Yes.
I cannot figure out what any of the stuff from her past has to do with anything.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, maybe it's gonna be one of those overarching things where like at the end of like, this season, like the past is going to like have some big revelation, but we're going to have to watch it throughout and not see the connection. Because every once in a while shows do that. But yeah, no, definitely this episode, the past stuff was all just like,
the closest I could get was it was trying to show that she's smart.
Yeah.
They already established
the present day stuff was not, she was not super smart in this episode. She made so many questionable decisions, which,
But I mean, as far as like, being.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
But they established that in season 1.
Yeah.
It
was already established. We don't need. Maybe that's for the random weirdo who decided to just start watching the show in season 2.
Yep. So this starts out in a dark, desolate silo.
Almost said vault.
I know.
Definitely not our, like you very quickly caught on like this is not our silo that we had all through season 1.
It is immediately clear to me from this scene that they are going to finish up, which they kind of have to, the last few chapters of the first book.
Yes.
Because the first book is really divided into 3 sub-books. So this is going to be like the third book of the first book.
Yeah.
Like they do that sometimes in writing. That unfortunately means I don't think we're going to get any real answers to what happened, why the silo exists, why the silos exist, and what's happened outside the world until season 3.
Oh, man.
That is unfortunate, but this is going to be a ride.
But so I'm guessing that this silo that we see at the beginning, like how you're saying, would this have been the whole third arc is what's going on in the silo?
I'm not going to.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Don't tell us, even though we won't know. Fine.
I'm just saying there's a very good chance that we're going to see some more stuff going on in Silo 18.
Yeah.
Which is the home silo.
Yeah.
This is Silo 17.
Yeah. I know for sure there's definitely stuff going on in Silo.
So yeah, there's some kind of rebellion going on,
Yep.
led by the sheriff.
Yep. All the lights are out in the silo,
Yep. And
like,
they are
make it very
storming
pointed.
IT.
Yes.
That is very important to know that they are storming IT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full on. Get to see that there's still guns in this world. Because like I said, in Silo 18, never out to
And they just throwing away bullets.
And yeah, no, they're storming IT. The bridge between IT and the rest of the Silo has been destroyed. So they had to build a bridge, and the rebels are storming IT, and they're just throwing themselves at. Essentially, IT has all the power, but the rebels have numbers, and they're just throwing bodies at IT, and eventually they, like I said, the numbers will always outweigh the guns. There's a finite amount of ammo, and so we don't get to see the whole fight, but rebels win.
Yeah, and it's important. They also mentioned that they flood the generator, which comes up later when she falls into the water.
Yep.
Yeah, in the book, that was the thing in the books. Like 20 or 40 levels are like flooded in that silo in the books.
Okay,
and that's kind of important later.
Yeah. So like I said, the rebels win, and essentially it sounds like they tortured the head of IT, whose name was Russell. Not that that's important, but anyway, I just remember they said keep Russell alive, and he spilled the beans and whatever we don't get to know fully, but spilled the beans and whatever it is, and they still choose to go outside, and then we are brought to the present where we see that journey was not great.
There's also a line that's like if you haven't read the books, that's like he's talking after the battle. He's talking with his wife in the mirror while she cleans the blood off of him and stuff. And he's like, well, maybe why didn't Russell open the door?
Yeah.
And she's like, because somebody told him not to. That's a big, that's a big line if you read the books. But we don't find out who that is that told him not to open the door until the third book.
Okay.
Or sorry, until the second book.
Okay.
Which will be the third season, I think.
Yeah.
Just the way things are shaping up. But yeah, they open the door of the vault.
Yeah.
The silo up at the top.
Yep.
And
Storm out.
Now, I'm pretty sure that the kid at the beginning of this is the person that we meet at the end.
I don't think so.
It's
because they showed when they're storming out, they showed the sheriff and the kid who we met at the beginning was his son.
Yeah.
And they showed him and his wife, and the wife had the son right there with him as they stormed out. And then when Julia is going in, she passes the sheriff with the flag, and then she passes, and I guess you don't know for sure, but she passes a pair of corpses, one smaller than the other. That looks like the mom holding the son.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure.
Because it doesn't make any, based on what I know about what's happening on the outside and what killed them and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't know how the same kid. But I got very excited when I saw that kid.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, you
the character. The character.
So that was literally within like 20 seconds of the episode started. I was like, whoa, and he's like grabbing his notebook and all this stuff. I was
let's jump to the end real quick. So the person that she meets at the end is, his name is Solo.
Yep.
They haven't told us his name yet.
Solo in the silo.
He is going to, he is perhaps the best character in the books.
Okay.
He is really an awesome, interesting character.
Nice.
And he's going to be with us for the rest of the series.
Okay.
And I was trying to think, like, who would they get to play this character? I did not expect that they were going to get Steve Zahn to play this character. And I tell you now, I approve of this decision 1,000%.
Nice.
I did not. Steve Zahn's not.
His name never crossed your mind.
Not a person I think about too often. But I love this actor, and I love everything I've seen him in. Super, super awesome. And now that I'm seeing him playing this character, I'm like, well, there's no one else.
Yeah.
There's no one else you could get to play this character.
Did you have any possible ideas?
No, not really, because it's such a weird character that we'll learn what's going on with. I don't want to give anything away yet. But like, this is going to be a difficult character to play.
Okay.
For various reasons, which we will learn as we go through the series. It is it is going to stretch Steve Zahn, but I think Steve Zahn's got it. Yeah. I think he's already kind of there a little bit in what characters he tends to play. And yeah, it's just perfect, and I'm very excited about it.
Nice.
So she makes her way into the silo. She has to bust open this door.
Yep.
So first she has to open one door and then another door.
Yeah.
And like we were both saying.
Yeah.
She grabs a crowbar.
Yeah, metal crowbar.
Gets one door open.
Yeah.
Then throws the crowbar
away. Just throws it down. And I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
sure you
and
could
then she
use
lucks
that.
out that there's another crowbar.
Yeah.
when she goes,
It happens to be a little bit longer
yeah,
and stuff. But the way she gets this door open, like this
bullshit.
it's
bullshit.
a huge, like, essentially bank vault door.
Mhm.
That level of door. And she jams a crowbar in it, and sure, she puts her full body weight on it, but like, I'm like, you can't just pry open
Yeah.
a huge vault door. But she does. And we're treated to, basically, we get to see, like, from the get-go that this silo is set up just like her silo. Like, when you come in, you're in the detention area, just like when people, say they want to go out. And she basically heads out right into the cafeteria where you get big screen and all that stuff. Lies is painted across that screen. So we can tell that things definitely were out of hand in this silo. But
by the way, there's not just like a couple of corpses around.
Yeah.
There's literally 10,000 corpses.
Yeah. See,
like she has to walk down a staircase of corpses.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
can't even see the ground.
I'm just like, I'm gonna go on to the next silo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try.
let's not go into
try another one.
the tomb
'Cause
here.
This is what I said. Like,
now
of
in the
course,
book, she's running out of air, and that's why she kind of forces herself to go in.
And
But yeah, they didn't establish that in this.
I mean, she does. Her air pack does malfunction, but that's once she's already inside.
Well, it doesn't malfunction so much as she just runs out of air.
Okay, or runs out of air.
Yeah.
She takes, and so like I said, she's taking precautions to some degree because, like, she realizes her tape's coming undone. She's trying to find, I'm assuming she's headed in hoping to find some heat tape, hoping they keep it in the same place as her silo. But before she can get there, runs out of air, and she takes the crowbar, which this time she did keep it with her for a little bit, and starts smashing it into her helmet. And I know you're panicked, but I'm like, that's how you lose an eye. That glass gives out and crowbar to the face.
And you're telling me that Sheriff can figure out how to take the helmet off and engineer lady can't?
True. see, this episode makes me question her intelligence a lot because she also takes a knife and the suit is loose. It's not like right up against her where she could hold it away and cut. But she takes a knife and literally starts like stabbing towards her abdomen with it. I was like, you are just trying to kill yourself.
By the way, that would get air to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to smash the glass of your helmet.
No, exactly. And honestly, I feel like once you smash the glass of the helmet, I know she's worried about because he grabbed some liquid. I don't know what kind. It was very brown, so I don't know if it was just water. But she grabbed some liquid to pour over the suit to kind of like disinfect it or at least clean it off of whatever's outside. Which is smart because you don't know what killed the people outside. But still, I feel like once I got the glass smashed on my suit, I don't know if I damaged my whole suit. Like, I might need to go back out and hopefully I can find another helmet. But, keep your suit in good shape. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a silo. I'm assuming that she can go to supply.
Hopefully,
do a new suit.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. She's wandering around and she makes her way to the farm level.
Mm-hmm.
And she finds a single patch of the farm that's still kind of running.
Yeah.
And there's some water dripping
down.
So in the books, she does not have a light.
Yeah.
And this place is pitch black. I mean, she cannot see.
Yeah.
And this is when she first runs into the other person.
He's not.
Like, she's in the dark, fiddling around, finding food and water. Yeah. And then, like, something comes and, like, hits her and steals her knife in the dark.
Yeah.
And then runs away.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, this whole time I'm watching this, like, being in a deserted silo for either, like you said, because, like I said, it was kind of a given that there's at least one survivor in this, even,
it's just good writing
and stuff. And, like, just being like, this is one of those things, like, how to make contact with the other person. Like, if you're not trying to make it a violent conversation, like, how do you make contact with another person when it's like, they've been in this silo for so long. No one is here. There's not supposed. So the moment you say anything, they're freaking out because it's like, who knows how long, but like they haven't heard anybody. No one's supposed to be here. Like, that's like heart attack level stuff. When suddenly out of nowhere, there's someone in this space with you that hasn't been, like, especially
I wouldn't think they were real.
In that pitch black scenario, like you're talking about, even more so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Look, I'm terrified of the dark. I could not handle this.
Yeah. Anyway, she makes her way around. She finds because since she's out of her suit, and we see that basically she's in her underwear, which is also just not the way I want to approach anyone unknown. So she does manage to find some clothes. She just breaks to a house, and there's plenty of options.
Yeah. I love how later she falls in the water and gets it all wet, and she's just like, I just go get more clothes.
Exactly. Like there's plenty. So she gets herself an outfit. She starts looking around, and then she stumbles upon IT, which is once again across the broken bridge, and there's a weird like chinging noise, like keys hitting something noise going on. And there's also lights. So two things that the rest of the silo doesn't have: sound and light. So something's going on over there. And so she starts devising a plan to get across. And this is where I questioned her intelligence again, because she sees, probably from the rebellion, that there's a bunch of hung corpses. It's like, ooh, rope, which she then proceeds to just start hacking apart with a knife. And I'm like, I feel like
she could have untied those
some knots. Also, she struggles way too much to get these bodies up.
These are skeletons. These are skeletons.
They make it clear.
Just some light riot gear.
Yeah.
And it makes it look like she's pulling up like a 250-pound man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that really took me out of it for a minute. Because I was just like, nah, she would.
And they
would be so light.
They do a cutaway where, because like he pulls up we get to see her struggle and pull up one of the bodies, and cut the rope off of them, and then they do a cutaway and come back to where now she has 6 bodies total and all the rope off of them. And the whole time I'm like, how long? If it's really that hard for you to get those bodies up, how long did it take you to get all these corpses up here, and how many breaks did you take? Because if you were watching it, like she's struggling, as like I said, it's like she's lifting a 250-pound weight.
Yeah.
And I'm just like crying out loud.
And then she's gonna climb down a rope.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna need like a day.
Yep. Yeah, take a break. I mean, there's plenty of beds. Go get some rest.
It's been a day for her.
Oh, yeah.
She got sent outside.
She got sent outside.
She saw the truth of the world.
Yeah. Like this, and that's why
she saw the fake of the silo.
Mm-hmm.
She went into a new silo to climbed
saw
down a
that
mountain
there's a
of corpses.
bunch of silos over corpses, wandering through the dark. I mean, even with a little lantern, that's still a lot. Empty silo. But yeah, she climbs down from. So if you've seen the show, you know that the silos are built in a spiral, and essentially everything is a mirror of itself a couple levels up. So the bridge above IT is still intact, still goes fully across.
Yeah.
And so she lowers herself down in the middle, where she has to swing across the gap. And the whole time I'm like, why didn't you just go to the side that IT's on, lower yourself down directly into IT?
Yeah.
But
so this happens in the books.
Okay.
But they did a lot, like I said, in the first season that wasn't in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And they did something in the first season that really messes this up for me. Because the whole time I'm just thinking, why don't you just climb down the trash chute to get a level down? There's the center staircase is not the only way to traverse levels.
Yeah,
they did
establish
in
that.
Season 1.
There's a trash chute.
They needed to show us that like she couldn't for some reason.
Yeah, it was clogged or something.
Because again, they don't do that in the book.
I mean, it's very easy they could have done this because we know about the rebellion, and so I very much would see that IT would do, knowing that the trash chute is there, would do something to block that off.
Yeah, and that's fine as long as you show me.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they had to do was show us real quick that trash chute blocked.
But that's just a failure in the writing room.
Yeah,
because they added a new aspect that wasn't in the books, and now they're trying to be faithful to the books and tell this part of the story.
But
where she
like has to, doesn't make as much sense because of what they added.
She has to use physics and engineering to get across this gap. She does fall.
It's a
really good scene, especially if you've never read the books or anything. Because I knew she was gonna fall in water.
Okay,
but if you're just seeing for the first time and then she just falls into the darkness, it's like
I was like, she's just dead. But she falls in water. But once again, remember, no one in the silo knows how to swim.
Well, so she does kind of know how to swim from being in the boiler water, right? Because remember when she went into the steam room, during the generator fix scene, and it filled with water, and she had to learn how to swim then.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Because remember, she goes into like the steam pipe, and she uses the water hose to cool down the steam pipe.
Yeah, but I don't remember it ever filling with water where she had to really swim. Like, she was kind of like,
no, it filled up. It went over her head.
Did it?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Anyway, she's not a good swimmer anyway.
No.
And she's afraid of water. She's never really seen a lot of water except when she was in the stadium.
Yeah. So once again, she lucks out, and there has to be like an empty gas container that's full of air, so it floats. She uses that, but once again, she just throughout this whole thing, she just keeps throwing away tools that could be useful. I'm like, you're in a survival scenario. Maybe I've played too many survival games, but you don't throw away anything. You collect all that. You don't know when you're going to need it again.
Yeah.
Who knows if you fall in the water again? Next time you might not. A flotation device might not be. You might want to just keep that tied to your belt. It's right. It's light.
Or you could fill it with water.
True. Yeah. There's many applications you could use this for.
Yeah.
And she just like gets really frustrated and chucks it out farther in the water where she can't get to it. I'm just like, stop throwing away tools. Do you not know you are in a survival? You have been kicked out of a silo into a desolate wasteland. You need everything you can get your hands on.
Yeah. You need some, she has not played enough RPGs.
She has not. She's terrible at this.
But yeah, she makes it back up and she builds a bridge.
Yes.
And it's janky.
Oh, it's janky.
She ties all the pieces together with plastic.
Yeah.
When she has good rope.
I mean, the rope but we also see that she does have thinner rope when she ties herself off. But the rope she does have is pretty thick, where I don't know if you could really get it around.
Yeah, so you use the thin
joints.
rope.
Yeah, exactly. We do see she has
and
thin
then
rope.
tie yourself with the thick rope.
Yes.
She also makes a pulley system.
Yep.
So that way she can
don't know where she got the pulley from, but that's fine.
Just found it.
Because
she is collecting some tools.
We did glaze over the fact that when she goes back up and checks the rope where it broke, it looks like it's been cut.
Yeah.
And stuff. So definitely, but she just kind of like isn't concerned by that.
She's definitely like questioning it.
She's questioning
but
it, but
she doesn't know it's cut. She's just like,
Yeah.
why did it break?
Yeah. But so she
Which
builds,
I mean, this rope has been
been
laying
here
around
for a
quite
while.
some time.
Yeah.
It could be brittle and ready to fall
It
apart.
could be. So she builds her janky bridge with plastic ties and gets it across the gap. She ties herself off, doesn't give herself any slack. So when one is, like I said, I was looking at this bridge and I'm like, this is one of those scenarios. I think this is full sprint where you're on that bridge for as little amount of time as possible. You're just full sprint to get across. She does not do that. She starts heading across the bridge, and then I don't know if it was like weird editing or what, but me and you both agree.
Yeah.
She's like halfway across. They do like a weird cut. And suddenly she's back at the beginning of the bridge. And I don't know, maybe she went back and they didn't show us.
I think it's just bad editing.
Yeah. But then she gets halfway across again and the bridge breaks. She leaps across, and then her tie-off rope that is there to save her because she didn't have any slack almost pulls her off with back and into the void. And it's like you gotta have some slack in that rope. But once again,
how much slack do you really want in your lifeline fall rope?
Yeah, but you still need some. And then once again, and like I said, panic scenario, but still once again, whips out the knife, cuts the rope. I'm like, that's good rope.
Yeah.
That's good rope.
Could I untied that knot?
You're just wasting rope, you're wasting tools. What are we doing? Yeah. And also,
I mean, 1,001 uses for a plastic tarp.
Yeah. But also and now she's on the side with IT. As far as she can tell, she does luck out once again. But as far as she can tell, no way back.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking,
one-way trip.
No, what would have been nice? You had that floatable jug. You know that water, you just jump down to the water, float back to the stairs, you're back on the right side. But no, we had to throw the floatable jug away.
But yeah, she goes in to start inspecting IT.
Yep.
And she finds out that someone, or not someone. Well,
Yeah.
we know that it was someone.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just something dangling in front of a fan that's running.
That has like a name badge on it that just is hitting against it. That was it. The big revelation. And they really shoot this as like that was it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm like, there's a whole level to explore here.
She doesn't look anymore. She just kind of throws in the towel, heads back, and she lucks out and finds the original bridge that the rebellion used.
And does some more physics.
Yes.
To get in place. I like this.
Yeah.
Where she like weighs it down and puts it on the barrels and then pushes it across the gap. That
Yep.
was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gets it back. Way better bridge than her original bridge.
Yeah.
Heads back into the main silo, and then she just stops and thinks, well, maybe I should look a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a weird moment. Like, you just gave up. You just were like, oh, I guess that's that. But no. She decides to head back over And this is where we get our like I said, this is when Robert checked the time. And he's like, damn it. Because we only had like 3 minutes left. And no, like there's not going to give us much. But she finds, essentially, I mean, even more so than the first door, like this looks like a bank vault door.
So this is, by the way, this is the same door that the mayor, head of IT, played by
Tim
this is
Robbins,
where
he ran
That's
to?
the door that he was running to at the end of the last season. Like that version of that door in Silo 18.
Yeah.
When he's freaking out at the end. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of stuff behind that door.
I know.
We're going to get to learn a lot about in this season about what's behind that door.
But probably not too quickly, because when she tries to get into this door, of course, you can't open it. It's huge bank vault, got your keypad and stuff. So she kind of starts to walk away, and this is where we get introduced to our new character. We don't get to know his name. We know his name because we looked at Solo, and Robert already knew because he read the book. But he's basically like, hey, nice to meet you. If you touch this door again, I'll kill you. Like he's very nice about it. He's very nice. Like, hey, I get it. You see a door. You want to know what's on the other side of that door. That makes sense. But if you do that again, I'll kill you. And then we roll credits.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this season.
Yeah.
I do wish it makes sense, like I said, that we've got to tell this part of the story before we move on to the next parts of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really sad that we're not getting to see like the long before 4 times, and like how the solos came to be and why.
Yeah,
and I really just don't think they're going to get to that this season.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, and I
we are going to learn a lot.
Yeah,
we're going to get a lot of revelations.
I kind of get still with a TV show is you want to like I think that's part of the big mystery of the Silo show is that. So you want to hold the big mystery for as long as possible. It really
I just worry because Rebecca Ferguson's growing large in her career, and I'm like, are they going to be able to keep her for 6 seasons?
I mean,
3 seasons. I was like, okay, she went off and did Dune.
Yeah, it is Apple.
It is Apple.
Apple has very deep pockets, and I mean,
I guess it's
this is
a long time between filming.
And stuff. And the other thing I'm thinking is like, while this is in the end of his career, or not in, but later in his career where he's definitely cheaper. I mean, they got Harrison Ford for Shrinking.
Yeah,
they've gotten big actors for. I mean, they have, even though you said it wasn't that great, they had Brad Pitt and George Clooney for one of their movies. Like, they definitely got the money to pay for the star power. So I guess
they got Jason Momoa to do 3 seasons.
Exactly, they got Jason Momoa in his prime to be like, hey, can you be a blind guy in a show nobody's watching? And
a very physical role.
So like, it's Apple. They got the money, man. I think it's.
I just hope they see this through to the end.
I think what's really going to matter is and hopefully people are people watching it. I think that's what's really going to keep it going. It definitely
so if you're one of the people who only listens to this,
go check it out.
Go watch it.
Don't or
at least
want
play
you to
it
listen
in the background. So that way they get the number. You don't have to watch it. You just have to play it. You just have to put Spotify on and then mute it. So that way
if you're some weird person who comes and listens to us talk about a show and then pay for Apple TV and then play the episode but not watch it, I mean, thank you for listening, but what's going on in your life?
Very excited for the rest of the season.
Can't wait.
Even though I know exactly where it's going to end up.
I know.
But it's still fun.
It's definitely, I can see how it'd still be fun, but I'm liking not knowing. I'm liking just experiencing it as it goes.
Well, hey, if you like this show, you should go visit our website, watchinitpod.com. There you can find links to our social media. And you can email us, watchinitpodcast@gmail.com. If you have thoughts on the Silo show or the books, we'd love to hear from you. Donnell, what else should they do?
Nope, it's that time of year, folks. It's that time of year. Holiday seasons are here. I walked past one of my neighbor's houses. They already had it's not even Thanksgiving. They already had the tree up, the lights and everything. I'm like, for crying out loud. But it's that time of year. We're going to be doing our Christmas special. I still have not seen if E has put out the list yet.
The list is out.
The list is
it's
out.
Up to 109 last time I checked. And it does not have the contains portion.
What?
It is numbered this time.
It is numbered. Okay.
For now.
Thank you for that. If you could bring back, contains. It was fantastic. Whatever. We're still we're doing our holiday special. Interestingly enough, and I'm not gonna. It's going to be coming up in the next segment, but I'm not going to spoil it now. I have a little thing related to our holiday special and what I've been watching. Interestingly enough, but anyways, yeah, get ready to check that out. We're going to take ourselves a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about what we've been watching. All right, we are back, folks. And Robert is going to bring us some gripping sports news.
I know. It's an odd thing.
It is a very strange thing.
So I have never watched a boxing match before.
Okay.
Never ever.
Did you watch the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing.
Okay.
Well, no, wait, not all the matches.
Okay, not all the matches.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I was, it was late night. I was trolling.
Yeah.
The internet's looking for media. Checked
Yeah.
out Netflix and was like, oh, they're doing the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Yep.
Which I didn't even know was airing. Or I didn't know anything.
Yep.
And I just was like, okay, well, I'll watch that.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned it on, and of course it was like a live stream. Netflix was not ready for a fifth of the planet to stream from their servers.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad when I actually watched the fight itself. It was pretty good, but it was pretty grainy leading up to it. For sure. I've seen a lot of boxing movies because we love sports movies here at the Watchin It podcast. And I've seen bits and pieces of Holyfield and Muhammad Ali and of course Mike Tyson, bits here and there, just never a whole match before. It was real weak. I'd say I knew it was gonna be not great when Jake Paul came out riding in a car. And then Mike Tyson just walking down there alone by himself.
Yeah.
He's got like some crew behind him, but no, they really. And then Jake Paul had like his like trunks or whatever with like $2 million like encrusted with diamonds. I'm like, okay, well, this is just a shit show.
Yeah, it's just a shit show. It's 100% just a shit show.
I don't know when it started, but the advertisements are out of control. Every inch of the ring and everything has an advertisement on it. I'm just
everything
like,
is sponsored by something.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. It just Tyson just didn't bring it.
I mean, he's a 58-year-old man. From the get-go.
But he's been training.
He's been training, sure. But from the get-go, when they announced this fight, I was like, why, though? Because I'm like,
money.
At least.
Money.
Yeah, definitely money for both of them. One is it boggles my mind that Jake Paul got paid twice as much as Mike Tyson. Or I'm like, one is a literal living legend of the sport, and the other is a YouTuber who beats up on people who aren't boxers either for money, and they're like, let's give that one $40 million. And I'm not. Here's the thing.
Jake Paul is like a real professional boxer now. Yeah,
this is his second professional boxing match against an actual boxer.
Yeah,
he's had other professional boxing matches, but it's always other people who are just entering. Like it was what are they called? UFC fighters, a basketball player, Nate Robinson, and like he's never like, because I saw this post and that was the thing is like, I'm not saying, because Jake Paul some people are saying steroids, I'm not saying for sure that, but I will say compared to when you see videos of back when he was just a YouTuber, now the man has definitely developed himself into a fighting machine. I'm not saying he doesn't have the skills, I'm not saying he doesn't have the body for it. What I am saying is he has not proven it, because he has not fought anybody, he has not fought any boxer within 10 years of his age, or if it is someone who is close to his age, it's someone who's not an actual boxer. And so I'm like, he's like, one of the things he said to Mike Tyson was like, I'm here to take your throne. I'm like, dude,
well, that's just what they say.
I know,
that's
but I'm like, just fight some actual, like, that thing is like, the reason why I still can't.
Whoever the heavyweight champion is right now, fight that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And get trounced.
But my thing is like, if you want to prove, like I said, I'm not saying Jake Paul can't be a boxer. I like I said, looking at him, I'm like, he looks like he could probably box. I'm like, but in order for me to have any respect for you, like, fight an actual current fighting Mike Tyson would sound great on paper if it was Mike Tyson when he was in his 30s. Like, then I'd be like, hells yeah, you just proved but fighting 58-year-old Mike Tyson. I'm not insulting Mike Tyson.
Look,
but
it was a lose-lose situation.
That's what I was saying.
Either you beat up an old guy,
or you lose to an old guy.
Yeah.
Either way, that's why other than money, I can't figure out how this fight helps anybody.
It's just money. It's
just money.
Yeah, because Tyson got like $20
million.
Like
I said, it's nothing to sneeze at.
I mean, look, somebody offers me $20 million, I'll get in the ring.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Even if I'm gonna lose,
I'm in there. Yeah, exactly. $20 million to lose.
Yeah.
Like that sounds because I imagine there's usually always with these fights there's always like a winning bag that's like
Yeah.
tacked on top. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
if we're starting at 20, if I win, I might get more. But we're starting at 20 million to lose. I'm in the ring.
Yeah.
Like I mean I know that I probably wouldn't might get my money because they want to see actual
You'd
fight.
be dead.
But well, no,
I mean, I'd be dead too.
well,
But
my thing is that I might get in the ring and just wait. I mean, he's most likely they're not going to come out with the strongest punch, so I might just get in the ring, wait for him to throw like their first jab, clap,
just take the fall,
and just be lying there.
I mean, that's in my view from like little bits that I've seen of Mike Tyson in his younger years, in his prime. Like if he had just come out full force, like everything he had, every ounce of energy that he could muster, and just went in on Jake Paul, I think he would have won.
Yeah,
Because Paul would have been like, I don't know what to expect. This is this is Mike Tyson. He could have like scared him right into just getting beat because he just wouldn't be ready for this old man to come out being Mike Tyson, and that's how Tyson won back in the day, was like first round knockout.
Oh yeah, I think even in the announcement they said like of his fights, I forget how many fights he had.
It was
wins,
a lot, yeah.
But it was 44 of them were knockouts, and of that 44, 22 of them were in the first round.
Yeah.
So it's just like half of his knockouts were first round knockouts, just laying out people.
And I tell you, I do not understand the scoring system.
Yeah, I don't know how they I can't remember what it was. There was like a match years ago that I watched, and there were two guys boxing during the whole time. I was like, oh, that dude's winning. At the end, they're like, nope, this other dude had came to the judge, and the judge was like, nah, he had better significant hits. And like, I guess I don't know what a significant hit looks like. Like I know what blocking looks like, but there's plenty of times like, nah, that guy got clocked, and then like that, I don't boxing. I was talking to my friends about it. I was like, boxing, and this is no offense to the sport, but that's the other thing about this match is like I feel like it's just a dying sport. I'm not. If you're a big fan of boxing, I hope it recovers.
I don't think.
But
I think it's in the same spot it's always been.
Yeah.
Since like the modern day.
Yeah. I guess my thing is this: I just feel like if I'm a professional boxer and I've been grinding, like I started in high school, got into boxing club in high school, fought my way through college or whatever, worked my way up, went through the amateurs, worked my way up, and I've been putting up good numbers, but maybe not ready for world heavyweight. And then I see this YouTuber who can just put together his own fights and get $40 million while I'm just over here scraping to get, for my fight, I might pull down 20 grand, and that's for, a year's worth of training. So that's not even that, 20 grand in that much. I'm over here scraping and grappling. I'm just like, what's the point? Like, I guess that's where I kind of feel dejected. It's just like, oh, cool. I've been sweating it out. I'm not saying Jake Paul hasn't sweated it out, but still, I think he's been doing this for 5 years. I think most boxers who are 5 years into their career are they're grinding and they're taking any fight they can get for any amount because they're like, I got to get there.
Yeah, but Jake Paul's rich already.
He is rich already. I'm just saying the fact that
income
in
stream.
5 years to be like, man, I spent 5 years and I'm over here grinding, and you spent 5 years and you're fighting Mike Tyson for $40 million. What's the point of the grind?
Yeah.
If
I'm
that
sure all
guy's
the
just
other
gonna
lower level
slide in.
boxers are like, screw this guy.
Yeah.
Favorite boxing movie, Donnell?
Man.
I'm gonna say Cinderella Man.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of a lesser known boxing movie called Play It to the Bone.
I've never
Woody
heard
Harrelson
of that
and
one.
Antonio Banderas play middleweight boxers. Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're older.
Yeah.
It's like the tail end of their career. They're just trying to make a few bucks. They're not like the main event.
Yeah.
They're like the people who do the boxing match before the real boxing match.
Yeah.
It's an interesting movie. It's not very highly rated. It's got like a 5.0 on IMDb, like 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like I'm not saying it's a great movie.
Yeah.
But who
It's
doesn't
nice.
like a sports movie?
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite boxing movie. I wanted to say, but I was just gonna be joking. I can't remember what that movie was called. Remember the movie we covered with Eric with the robots fighting.
Real Steel.
No, not Real Steel.
Robo Jocks.
Yeah, Robot Jocks. But I'm just
that's
kidding.
not a
I know.
boxing
I'm just
movie.
kidding. I just wanted to say that. But, Robot Jocks. That's right. I mean, I really like. I mean, of course, I've seen all the Rockies. And then I really like what they've done with Creed.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the most recent one, Creed 3. I don't know. I've been a little wary of that one, not because, and it's not, was it Michael B. Jordan's fault, but it's just the companies and stuff. It's like basically the Rocky franchise has been Sylvester Stallone's thing since the beginning, and then they like wrestled control of it away from him with Creed 3 and like all that. And so I thought it might be why. But I like the first Creed a lot. That one I really liked a lot. I felt it continued the Rocky story really well without, having Rocky have to step in. And it's like Mike Tyson stepping in at 58. You don't need to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just go with Creed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Tell us about the shoes, Donnell.
So I gotta let you know, Supernatural has been put on the back burner.
No,
It will be. It probably be coming
How
back
far did you
now. I'm still halfway through season 3.
get? Okay.
The reason it was put on the back
It's
burner,
just about to
though,
start getting real good.
The reason it was put on the back burner, though, Robert, is I've been watching a little show called Special Ops Lioness.
Yeah.
Or as I will refer to it, because even in the opening credits, it just says Lioness. I don't know
it's
where
just called
Special Ops
Lioness,
comes from.
but then, it depends on where it's being aired.
Yeah. But at least in the video I watched, Lioness. I've watched all. I am up to date. I am current in the season.
Dude,
I watched
you
all,
binged
once
that
you
hard,
once
didn't
you
you?
start, you don't stop with that show. And
I'm so glad you've watched it.
here's one of the things. Like, so it's about a CIA lady who runs a special program of essentially assassins and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a huge chunk of it dealing with her personal life.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm just as invested in that as the covert, like I'm sitting there
Yes.
watching the dad, like, you guys got to figure out this. You got to
Yeah.
figure out this marriage. These kids need you to be better.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
you are screwing up. And I'm sitting there like, I am just as much
No,
enthralled.
you came for the military fight,
Yeah,
like
espionage.
and you stayed for the family drama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here, the family drama. It's like, man, what are you guys?
This
are
is Zoe
screw-"
Saldana's greatest action role
Mhm.
and greatest drama role.
I'm like, you are screwing up these kids if you don't get this. And like, oh man, just like the scene, like I said, you think I'm going to be talking about the act and stuff, but the scene where after the daughter gets in the car accident,
Oh, yeah.
and then they find out she's pregnant, and when
Oh,
Zoe Saldana
yeah.
comes to talk to her and the way she handles it,
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
like, oh, like if I had popcorn, I'd
Yeah.
just be like,
And the different dynamics between how the dad deals with the
Mhm.
kids and the mom deals with
and
the
when like,
kids.
oh, when the like actually when before that, when the mom comes home and he's like, did you know our daughter was in there getting? And it's like it was all over the pants,
Yeah.
right? And just when that
There's
moment,
a lot
she
of real
realizes-
talk, man.
There's like some so much good stuff. There's also, I mean, it's not intentional, but that's where the shoes thing came from. Is there's a scene where some kids, so the CIA, they're spying on some people in the rich neighborhood. So they rent a rich house, but they make it look like it's abandoned because no one's supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So they're in this house, doing some nice, and some punk teenagers break in to rob the place.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
the wrong
Yeah.
house. They watching these kids get taken out by professional CIA.
I need to go rewatch it. I totally forgot about that scene.
Oh, but yeah, so they get taken out, and then eventually, it works out well for these kids actually,
Yeah.
because they get called and basically they get paid off never to talk about this again. But as the kids are being escorted out and they're being leaving, one of the kids is like, "What about my shoe? Or what about our shoes?" Like, there are shoes now. Fuck your shoes. I just started laughing so hard right there. I was just like, oh,
Yeah, one of the greatest shows ever.
it is.
There's a reason it made
amazing.
my best of from
It
last
is
year.
amazing, and
I've been waiting for you to get into it, Donnell.
I'm in. I'm
Yeah.
in. I'm in. I'm ready. I'm waiting for the next episode to drop. All right, man. Where's it at? Where's it at?
It's like Diplomat level.
mm-hmm.
The Diplomat
It
level,
is
yeah.
Fantastic, and just everybody kills their roles in this. Like everybody plays. And speaking of which, that's where I want to bring some up. So one of the main roles in this is she's not a lioness, but she's on Zoe Zenday's team. Is a woman named Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby's
Jill Wagner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you looked at Jill Wagner's past movies? Because
I
before
did some
this,
searching on the internet for
before
research
this,
purposes.
do you know what she mainly starred in, Robert?
No.
Hallmark movies.
Nice.
She has most of her movies, so it's like
Nice.
she came from the Hallmark, thing. If you look at most of her movies, I was like, a little tie-in. It's like she made the jump from Hallmark over to MTV, I guess. But still, I just thought that was interesting when I looked. It's like, oh, we might, if we ever look at older Hallmark movies, we might cover a movie with Bobby in it one of these days. Definitely not playing the badass she's playing in this. But yeah, I just like that tie-in.
Yeah, such a great show.
Yeah, just
So
a fantastic show.
I'm really loving this season's storyline too. Yeah, and that they brought the Lioness back from the first season. They got her back in there.
Dude, oh, I got so pissed at her because like watching it, the whole episode, like so, season 1, spoilers, but in season 1, it's all about getting close to this
terrorist,
terrorist,
like
Drew,
Osama bin Laden level guy.
Drew hit his daughter, who happens to be touring around and stuff, and so they get the Lioness in there, and from the get go, I'd say from their second interaction, I was like, oh, C's into you, like, more than just friends. And I thought C was picking up on that, and so the first time they kissed, I was like, and you got her. And then when it turned out, oh no, you literally were falling for her, I was like, screw you, how did you not see this coming? I was just like, come on.
How about
C's
the whole,
like shocked?
Yeah, how about the whole dynamic between Nicole Kidman and her husband?
Yeah.
He's a character,
I
dude.
can't stand him, but he is played fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And just I love when Nicole Kidman's like, don't let your marriage become mine, or don't make my marriage your goal. And I'm like, oh yeah, because like they're so like it's just such a, and just I love seeing the whole like where like their marriage is all about deals essentially, and so like
money
to get some
power,
information, because he's like, I don't understand what's going on, and he's like, I think I have the answer, because he's all into stocks, and she's like, what will you give me if I give you something? And just like, oh, just watching them oh man, frick it, it's just great. It's a great show. I'm so glad that you brought it up, and then I'm so glad that I'm watching it, because it is
at least I've learned now, like if I want Donnell to watch a show, I have to make him watch the first episode.
Yeah, just drop that first episode. You didn't even want to do the first episode with me. You did like season 2 episode 2 and just or the end of episode 2. But yeah, all right, so now Robert, before we got off, I got a little interesting thing for you, because I stumbled across this is I want to talk to you about highest grossing actors.
Okay.
And so this is not who's paid the most, it's not who's the richest, it's whose movies have made the most money.
Isn't Denzel Washington no, it's somebody else. He got dethroned.
Yeah, he's not even in the top 10. So highest grossing actors. We're going to go through 2 things. First, we're going to go through only including leading roles.
Okay.
Do you want to take a stab at who is the highest grossing actor in the world? Leading actor.
Leading is an actor or an actress?
Actor. Though actress is number 2.
Actor.
Yep.
I got nothing. I
no
used to
ideas.
know this.
Okay, so the highest grossing actor is...
I mean, I know it's going to be surprising.
It is not.
Okay.
When we get to just highest grossing actor, period, not leading roles, that is what's going to be surprising. But highest grossing actor is Samuel L. Jackson.
I knew that. I knew
Followed
that
by, like I said, actress Scarlett Johansson. And then you're going to notice
that
something.
was surprising to me, Scarlett Johansson.
Robert Downey Jr., Zoe Sandel,
Oh,
Chris Pratt,
all
Chris
the Marvel
Evans.
people. Yeah.
It's not till number 7 we get to Tom Cruise, who's been around. Vin Diesel, which at first I was like, oh yeah, that's not Marvel. I'm like, wait, he is. He's Groot on top of his own franchise. Chris Hemsworth, Bradley Cooper. So yes, Marvel has been driving the most money, which is not a big surprise. The only person of the top 10 who is not in Marvel is Tom Cruise,
because he's been around forever.
Exactly, and he's been a huge blockbuster
and the only
seller.
reason he's not higher is because he only does one movie every 5 years now.
Yeah. So
Which
that's
is fine. They're good movies.
Yeah, they're good movies. So anyways, that is interesting enough. So then they put their top grossing film. Do you want to guess what the top grossing film
Endgame.
for 9 of the 10 is?
Endgame.
Yes, Endgame.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise's was, I guess it's just because of when it was made, his highest grossing film, Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
Would that have been one of
That's not
Mission
a good
Impossibles? Yeah,
Not a great movie.
But anyways, so now we're gonna go into.
I want to know what that is adjusted for inflation.
Yeah,
because it's gonna be like risky business or something.
Yeah,
adjusted for inflation.
If we adjust for inflation, it's definitely gonna be something. So now let's pivot into highest grossing actor by all roles, including just cameos. Do you want to take a stab at who is the highest grossing actor?
Okay, well, based on the information you gave me, and it's good, you say cameo specifically. It's the comic guy who was in all the Marvel movies, who had the bit role.
Yes,
the main guy.
You got it.
I can't
Stan
remember.
Lee is
Stan
the
Lee,
highest grossing. Now, surprisingly, not surprisingly, Samuel L. Jackson still number 2. but the rest of the cast falls down.
Yeah, because he showed up as minor roles in so many. I mean, I'm
so
sure
many things.
they're counting like after credit scenes.
So then, but so the rest of the people. So one is it's not just MCU because once you get of everything, two people who show up, Andy Serkis and Warwick Davis, they're there because of the other Disney franchise, freaking Star Wars.
Yeah.
And stuff. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson manages to get on there, and this also shows why what's his face is so high. Now I can't remember his name. Vin Diesel is so high because Dwayne Johnson is on there because he's part of the Furious franchise. Yeah. So that gets you in there too. And then but so anyways, I really but still, number 3, 4, and 5 of all time is interesting because they are not tied to either in Marvel or Star Wars. They are not huge action stars. It's John Ratzenberger.
Don't know who that is.
Yeah, he mainly does a voice. He was in Cheers. He was Cliff in Cheers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which he is tied to Disney. Because he has done a lot of Pixar movies.
Oh yeah,
so Disney is
all
still
the Toy Stories.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
plays the dog.
He plays the piggy bank. No, piggy bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's been in other Pixar movies. So that's where. So Disney is still driving that. But then our next two people, Frank Welker and Bob Burger, would never recognize their names. But you want to know why they're here? Frank Welker has been the voice of first Scooby-Doo. Then Scooby and Shaggy, and now he mainly does Fred. But he has been in Scooby-Doo for over 4 decades. Yeah. Everything, every cartoon, every movie, every video game, every appearance. I'm like, and then
toys.
Yep,
that wind-up toys. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then Bob Burger has been the voice of Porky Pig and Tweety for over like
800
forever.
Years.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh. If we're just doing, like I said, everything, every time every commercial that Tweety and them and sort of everything.
Wait, do you think they're counting anytime they do That's All Folks on any movie where Porky Pig comes in? Because I feel like that's cheating.
I don't know if they're counting that. They don't say for sure.
If they count that, that's cheating.
But still, I'm just like, yeah, I love that Stanley is the highest grossing actor in the world. Samuel L. Jackson's only $3 million off for him, so I do think one day Samuel L. Jackson will overtake because unfortunately we lost Stanley. But yeah, I just love that 3rd through 4th are 3 names where you're just like, I want to even recognize these guys.
When we watching The Long Kiss Goodnight, Donnell?
Have we not
Samuel L. Jackson's favorite role? You've never seen it. Gina Davis as a spy who's lost her memory. Samuel L. Jackson as a surly, down on his luck, out of prison detective.
Okay, no, we haven't seen it. Okay, hey, let's just say next time we're in the lull between shows.
There we go. Yeah,
look, that's first.
There's a lot of material to mine.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
It's got the main guy from the 13th floor. In it.
The 13th floor. The 13th floor. Oh yeah, there he is right there. Look at the cast. But anyways, oh man. Okay, yeah, that's it. We'll do it. I got Patrick Malahide in it. Okay,
it's a good movie, Donna.
All right, well, that's that. We'll do it. Anyways, yeah, I just thought that was interesting when I looked it up. I actually ended up on that list by the guy who does the voice of Ham the Piggy Bank because I was looking at Pixar for something else, and I saw that I clicked on his profile, and when you clicked on his profile, I said he is the 3rd highest grossing actor in Hollywood. I was like, what? But it's like, yeah, if you're counting just overall, it's just, yeah, it adds up.
And he was in Cheers.
Yep.
Which is kind of a big deal. Little known show.
No Cheers.
Man, watching Cheers, it's got like 13 seasons or something. Cheers is rough. I get to about season like 13 of Supernatural. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this to be over.
Yeah.
I get to like season 8 of Cheers, and I'm like, my God, I got another 5 to go. This is too much. Yeah. I'll take a break for like 2 months and then come back to it.
Oh man.
Anyway, that's the show, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with more Silo season 2. It's getting really good. So excited to see Solo, this character.
So ready for this
Oh.
season. I'm so ready for this season. It's gonna be great. Anyways, folks, give us any ratings, reviews, 5 stars, and thanks so much for listening. Bye.